welcome back to another exciting episode of Full Circle. I'm your host, as always, Harmon Jr. Find me at Harmon Jr. on all your favorite social medias.
And I'm the other host, Fradette. You can find me at ToonVelo. We have an exciting episode for you today. Odell is back from the great land of the rising sun. He'll be telling us about that later. But we'll not be starting with, we'll be ending with Link's Awakening. You might have heard it's a game that came out and everybody's excited for.
Woo! We'll be talking about, as Jared stated, TGS, the Tokyo Game Show, and a further delve into the land of the rising sun.
But first and foremost, we'll be talking about Ash Ketchum's Great League victory.
Yes, if you haven't heard by now, which if you've been on Twitter or any form of social media within the last I forgot when it happened now. I'll just say the
Recently,
week.
yeah.
You found out Ash just finally became Pokémon League Champion. That's right, after 22 years, he's the champion.
But why? Why don't we count the Orange League, which he technically also won?
Yes, and became champion. Because, you know, we don't count it? Because it really wasn't a league. It was like...
There was no game called the Orange Leagues, Pokemon Orange and Apple.
Well, look at it like this. You know, he just battled 4 people on 4 different islands that were considered to be strong, and then just fought like a random dude, and no one considered it.
Wait, are we talking Alola or Orange Island?
Exactly. So
break us down for us, I guess.
All right.
How that battle went, because we've all heard, you know, and Ash has gotten heaps of praise, despite, you know, Yugi always winning every match, always. But whatever, I guess we celebrate hard-fought victories. Anywho, so you've heard about it, but how?
All right. So if you heard, there's a game called Sun and Moon, which was actually one of the poorer received Pokemon games in recent history, rightfully so. I'm not that it was bad. Anyway, moving on. That's not the point. So, Ash went to go visit Alola, and they don't have typical gym leaders, and they don't have a league. He had to battle 4 Kahunas, and complete his island trial, and then at the end of that, Professor Kukui.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was like, I'm going to make a Alola league, and it's going to be the first one, and anyone can participate as long as they've done an island challenge, which I'm just like, but did Guzlord,
right?
Not the Pokemon, but the leader of
Guzma?
There it is, Guzma. I'm like, I thought Guzma like quit halfway through his.
Yeah, but he completed one of them, right? He didn't complete
know.
all 4. He only did.
I thought there was only the one island challenge though.
I don't know.
The point is, anyone who lived in Alola and was of merit could just be in this league,
right? Like, if you liked birds and golfing, why not be an Elite 4 member? Who are you? I don't know. But you're definitely one of the 4 members.
And then the Pokemon League started. And this is the thing. First of all, this is what I didn't like about it. Everyone that was battling had already been battled throughout, like, the series. And yes, you're probably wondering, well, trainers in the Pokemon League are usually trainers we met along Ash's journey. Like, yeah. But not, like, every single one. And it wasn't, like, every single one he's battled and probably beat out. It was just, like, it was literally, like, the Volcano Kid, which I don't know what he's supposed to be.
Cool Brock.
You know, it was Mallow, the grass chick, and then the water chick. I don't think they're in there, but I know Sophocles and another dude were in there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was basically the entire cast of Sun and Moon plus no new other characters. It was like everyone in the league was just them. Like the same misadventure. It would be like if the original Pokemon League was just Ash, Misty, Brock, Gary, Todd, Professor Oak. So
you mean Terry?
Was it Terry?
I don't know. Right, this Pokemon Snap guy?
Yeah.
I'm 90% certain it's Terry.
Is it Terry?
Maybe.
I know it's Todd in the game. Or it's Todd. I think it's different. I think it's different in the anime versus the game. I think they have 2 different names.
Sure.
Whatever. Terry, I think Terry was the Pokemon watcher.
I don't know.
Okay, anyway. So, blah, blah, blah. Ash battles the same cronies that he's battled, and the other guy, who's the other finalist, Gillian? Gladian. There's a lot of G's here. So, Gladian, who's the emo kid from Sun and Moon, Lily's brother, son of the not evil in the anime, Lumiere. Man, these names are hard to pronounce.
This is the one that takes place in France, right? Oh no, that was XY.
Pokemon.
Now, would you prefer these French-sounding names or a true Hawaiian-sounding name with lots of consonants, no vowels, and apostrophes?
You know, make a good point.
Kamehameha. That's all the Hawaiian I know.
That's all. Oh man, I've never just side stuff. We got lost in Hawaii once. Not lost, but Uber was still new, and he was like, "What street are you on?" It was like I
don't know.
It was like both of the street names had like 11 letters in it. It was like I can't pronounce this.
Dude, I placed a pin on the map. If you could just come directly to the pin, that'd be great.
All right, so
but the battle. Break down the battle.
So first of all, the battle was 3-on-3, which we all know a full. Great grandiose battle is always 6-on-6.
Always doubles. Wait. Okay, 6-on-6.
Jerry, you're having like a side conversation here, and less people know Pokemon, they is just going over people's heads.
Sorry. Okay, 6v6.
So yeah, that's a full 3 to 4 episode battle. Nope, it was 3v3. Because guess what? In Alola, Ash didn't even have a full team of 6.
Does he ever?
Yeah, I mean usually.
Oh, that's right. The one time he accidentally caught a Krabby and it went away. He was really confused.
Well, at least in the other leagues, like he may not acquire 6 new Pokemon, but he always has a full team. And in the league, he's just like, hey, here are like my powerhouses I haven't used all season to come, be powerhouses.
Charizard and Muck and yeah.
Yeah, so it's a 3v3 battle, which I'm already like, all right, this is the championship battle, 3v3, whatever. Mm-hmm. So the first battle is 2 mythical Pokemon. You got Melmetal, because, Ash acquired a Meltan at some point.
Okay.
And he evolved into Melmetal.
Okay. It's a mythical.
Yeah, versus Savali.
Savali.
Silavala. The evolved form of type Null, however you want to say it, because...
reasons.
So, and they battle each other to a draw, more or less.
Exciting.
Since Melmetal is, part steel, mm-hmm. he throws the little CD at it, makes it fire, and... Mm-hmm. They do stuff and
wait. You can change items during the match.
Well, that's the Valley's gimmick.
Not during the match though. You have to equip all items beforehand and then you go in.
Well, first of all, this is the first time I've noticed like they've ever used. First of all, Valley's whole gimmick is stupid. I'm sorry. Like, it's seeing it in action where it's like...
How dare you blaspheme our Lord and Savior Arceus.
It was like, oh, look, I have a CD. I'm going to throw it at my Pokemon. Now it's fire type. If I was... Again, this is one of those things if I was
they're
like...
memories from when it was a fire type?
No, they're disk drives.
Whatever.
So anyway, Melmetal's Valley, boom, they fight. Draw. Okay. Or, it's one of those, like... Just draw for simplicity's sake. So the next 2 combatants are... Zoroark and Pikachu, which I was cool. Like, I've never really seen a Zoroark battle in the show, so it was cool.
Did it actually come out as Zoroark?
Yeah.
Waste of a Zoroark. Keep going.
Zoroark Pikachu battle. Bah. We're just calling these draws.
Okay.
Because the climax is his Lycanroc versus Ash Lycanroc. I'm like, whoa, because his Rockruff lost to his werewolf form Lycanroc, or was it Midnight, Twilight?
Which one?
The werewolf looking one.
That's Midnight.
Midnight, yeah. I don't remember if it's called Midnight or Twilight.
Moon. I don't know.
The dark one.
Not the dusk one, and we're still missing a dawn one, but whatever.
Yeah, Ash has the dust one, so it's, Ash, Dust, Lycanroc, and it's like, because, they battled Lycanrocs before, but Ash Lycanroc was garbage, and I was like, climactic battle, Lycanroc versus Lycanroc, and I'm just like...
Okay.
And then, Ash beats the Lycanroc, and then I'm just like, cool. 3-on-3, the climax of being Lycanroc versus Lycanroc.
So that was the league victory we'd long, hard hoped for.
Yeah, so he gets the trophy, and they're like, you're a Pokemon champion, and I was just like, I can't accept this. and then the episode ends with Guzzlord showing up, Ultra Wormhole,
the Guzzlord that destroyed an entire previous alternate timeline, Alola, right?
Yeah.
Cool, so it's come to destroy Ash's victory.
But and then the episode that just aired, so 3 Guzzlords show up, 1 being shiny.
Ooh.
And they're fighting the Guzzlords, and then Ash had a Pipe. It was the Ultra Beast that was released in Ultra Sun and Moon, the poison dragon thing.
Right.
Well, no, it was just poison. But Peepo, however you want to pronounce it.
Pwa.
It left and went back to the Ultra.
But
realm.
That was his.
It was one of those like
whatever.
Ash has a little buddy Pokemon like, you're not mine, you're just kind of here, and you battle with me.
Sure.
So it left, but then when the Guzzlords had came, it had showed up as Nagandal.
The evolved poison dragon.
Yeah, and, of course it was like, I'm all powerful, it helped.
I did some times of soul searching, I found myself, I came back, I can do this.
Yeah.
Speaking of soul searching and traveling, Odell. You visited the great land of Japan.
I did.
Tell us all about that.
So it was amazing. First and foremost, TGS was cool.
Mhm.
I didn't go there on the public day. I just did there on the press days, the first 2 days. But I heard I got the email that they had over 275,000 visitors. So cool. Also, the first 2 days, I don't know if it's because how the convention center is made, but they have the AC on and it's a lot of open air. So they kept giving us fans, but like the actual Japanese fans, which actually work wonderfully.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, it's very hot there. Being from Texas, I can comfortably say
It was hot.
it's very hot there.
Okay.
And I was like, it is an island nation. This makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But it was hot.
Island nation, very lush.
So TGS was amazing. It was interesting in the fact that it never, I guess, used to like, I'm going to say, Western civilization or the American way.
Uh-huh.
That like most of the presentations, game demos, everything was in Japanese, and I was like, it was almost like mini culture. I was just like, oh man, is this what the rest of the world has to experience when like everything is dropped and initially made for like the Western audience?
Mm-hmm.
They just have to like be subjected to things they don't understand.
Yes.
And like it was interesting because like a lot of it didn't have subtitles either, so I was just like, oh, like completely just no idea what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I did because I've seen like the game trailers before, but like the new gameplay reveals and things, it was just like revealed, and I was just like,
Okay.
this isn't YouTube. This is just live in the flesh.
Yes.
I have to look this up later. And so it was, it was a nice humbling experience. Like, man, this is what everyone else has to experience before, like, it gets on YouTube and translated, or like, the channel puts the subtitle version.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I was like, so it was an interesting feeling to like watch new gameplay trailers or like a new game be revealed and be like
you hear people talking Japanese and the whole crowd is like, because they all know the voice instantly, and you're like, cool.
pretty much, or like there's like I was watching the Death Stranding thing and like the characters say something, and everyone's like, whoa, what a twist, and I'm just like, yes. But it was cool in many ways. They're very efficient there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to the point of where, like, I feel bad as a person. Like, they were so kind and courteous that I felt bad as a person. Like, this is maybe demeaning, and I apologize if I offend anyone with this statement, but it was kind of like everyone in Japan is like a Chick-fil-A employee.
Interesting analogy.
In the sense that, like, everyone's kind, everyone's courteous. They thank you for, they thank you for your time. They thank you for their time. Like anytime I went to a restaurant, it was pretty much like, oh, thank you, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your service. Thank you for enjoying the meal. Thank you for having a good day. Like, anytime I was lost, people were gladly helped me. Everyone, this is the thing, anyone who did their job. It was like I ran into, at the train stations, I ran into people that didn't know English, but I was still able to be like, I'm trying to get here. And they would be like, oh, there's going to be at this platform at this time, take this way, there it is.
Nice.
But that was, with anything, anywhere. It's like, I'm at the mall lost, here, there. I'm lost in this city, here, there. And it was just like, wow, people knowing how to do their job backwards to forwards. It was just
refreshing.
Yeah, here in America, it's like, you go to a literal customer service help desk. Can you help me? No.
Right?
Your job is literally at the help desk.
No, how many cons have we been to where we're seeing this panel? I don't know anything about panels. I'm sorry. Does this booth not say concierge? Is
my thing is okay, I know where the panel's at. I have the room number. How do I get there? I have no idea. I do not know the layout of the building we are currently in. Thank you.
Which again, I get that at least here in America, they're largely volunteers who probably have one day to learn the layout. But I mean, there are maps that you could easily and most buildings are ordered in some fashion. If you could put a little bit of effort in to be like, yeah, the 100s are upstairs, the 200s above those, and the 400s for some reason in this annex.
And here's another thing, employees, I was at lost at a station. I was like, I could use a map, and they were like. And I was like, oh, you just have them on you. That makes sense. Not that I've seen it in practice. Mm-hmm. The fact that, and I look at, their belts, they'll have, belts with, compartments. And I was like, oh, all you have maps on you.
That's amazing.
Just to give to people. because they made me a map.
Now, are you sure they were giving it to you, or did you just accidentally steal something from somebody?
No,
like you're supposed to give it back.
No, like she literally opened it up, and there were like several maps.
Okay.
And she handed me a map, and I was just like,
okay, you just had to ask.
Like, this is what I needed, and you had it. I mean, you work here, so I don't know why I'm amazed, but I am.
Get your act together, America.
Yeah,
we can do better.
So the food was amazing. It was real. I didn't have any bad experiences with the food.
Mm-hmm.
It was all reasonably priced, reasonably proportioned. The one thing I said I do not like refills are not a thing. Like even at fast food chains, they're just kind of like you get your drink and that's it. And if you want another one, you would have to purchase another one. And I was just kind of like, in my American sensibility, I was always thirsty. Like at a restaurant, I was like, I would get, and I swear it was just like the glass was never big enough for me. It would just be like, oh, this is like a sip. I'm gonna drink this. It's like, you know, when you get your drink on the airplane, you know, like this is enough for one gulp. Like I'm just gonna, when I stop drinking, the drink will be gone.
Right. You know what? Okay. Refills were free-ish in England, but yeah, it's like every drink I got is like a shot, and I was like, I just started ordering pitchers of water. Like I had to say the phrase "pitcher of water," and even then, sometimes it'd be like, yeah, it'd bring out just like a normal sized glass. I was like, oh my gosh.
So it was funny because so I got into the habit of ordering larges.
Mm-hmm.
It was at this one restaurant where I won a prize where since I ordered a large, I got a free like scratch off card, and I scratched it off and I won like a Olympic towel with their mascot for the 2020 Olympics.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, you order a large drink and you get a prize. I was like, is that how uncommon? Like
this is like the American equivalent. Like if you can finish a 32-ounce steak in 30 minutes, you win a prize. It's like, can you finish a whole 8-ounce drink in 8 minutes? Yeah, give me about 2 seconds here.
But I got into the habit of when I went to restaurants, like it feels more like traditional, like a chain restaurant or like a fast food place. Like they usually have like, I would tell them like a large cup, and you know they'll be like, oh, and then they'll show me the sizes, and I'm like, yes, the biggest one.
Big.
Like, but you know their largest was probably like our medium. And I went with my friend. Oh no, so it was funny. We went to this restaurant and they actually had like what I would consider like a jumbo cup, but like I'll call it an American large.
Okay.
And we got 2 of those, and then the lid had two places to put the straws. I was like, oh, this is made to share. So I was like, so we both had 2 cups and we were like,
nope, I'm going to finish this. This is for me. Thank you.
But also I was just like, I kind of like this concept. Like, it's like, oh, like we both got a jumbo drink. You have a side for your straw. I have a side for my straw. But then I just felt like a gluttonous. I was just like, oh, I was like, I must look like a horrible, like people who must watch me drink this by myself must think I am just horrible.
Yeah, but they're polite. They won't tell you they're judging you.
Yeah. So I did get in that concept, and some people laughed at me. They thought it was funny. Like I kept ordering 2 drinks at the start of a meal, and they would like bring it and be like, oh, here's a drink, and who's the other drink? And they'd be like, mine. Awesome. And they'll be like, oh. Mine. And I'll be like, yes, I am going to drink both of these.
It's going to happen.
The bullet trains are cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, zipping to like Kyoto and other cities was just
on time, no 30-minute delays.
Oh yeah, it was. So they're so on time that when I look at my map, it would be like 6-minute walk. Train will be there at like 9:32, and it was either there at 9:31, 9:32, or 9:33.
That's pretty nice.
Like always.
Yes.
And
you brought a guest back.
Oh yeah, so the Pokemon centers, by the way, are amazing. This is Vaporeon of the Oceanic Operetta.
Ooh.
Operetti. I'm pretty sure there's a correct
operetta. I think operetta.
Operetta line. So it's Milotic, Vaporeon, and Primarina, which I think that's the name of her Z-move.
Mm-hmm.
And they made a line, I guess, and this is Vaporeon, and I love her in her gown and her crown. So the Pokemon centers were amazing. I went to 2. I went to the Pokemon Center Skytree in Skytree Town, which has the flying Rayquaza busting through the roof with Pikachu riding them.
That's pretty cool.
And then I went to the main one, so the main Pokemon Center is in like the downtown area where everything's like nice, and there's like this very nice building, and you walk into the ground floor and there's like Pokemon on the wall, and there's like an express elevator that takes you to the 5th floor where the Pokemon Center is, and the doors open and there's a giant Snorlax statue with Pikachu on it. You know,
He's just everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like the entire floor is just like the Pokemon Center, and it's like very featured. Like when you walk in, it's decked out, like everything's clean white, and there's a silhouette of all current Pokemon on it, and like the wall's not full, so like there's space for like the Galar Pokemon is gonna come, and then to the right is the giant Pokemon.
And then they're just gonna scrape off all the ones that aren't in Galar. Right, just all of them. Anywho.
Yeah, because we're not bringing back National Dex, so those Pokemon are just dead forever.
Forever.
No, you can't access them.
But speaking about bringing things back, Link's Awakening. This is the third iteration. Sorry, not to cut you off. Right. Okay.
Jared and his savage segues have gotten so savage lately.
Yeah. Savage, okay. Sorry, I had nothing for that. Okay, but Link's Awakening, Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, first made its debut on the Game Boy in 1993 and was the debut of the Zelda series into the handheld consoles. Then it was released, but then people will complain that it wasn't in color. So in 1998, it was re-released again in color on the Game Boy Color.
And I didn't play either one of those.
Neither did I. But I got it on Friday and have been playing casually over the weekend in little 2-hour bursts. So I've been having a lot of fun with it. I like the cutesy kind of toy style. I actually bought the amiibo for it. I know, it's my first actual amiibo purchased ever.
So now you're on the just snowballing out of control. You're gonna end up with 200 now.
Well, okay, it's I'm trying to limit myself still to only the Zelda series, and even at that, only Zelda series I like, because next to it was also 8-bit, Legend of Zelda Link, and I was like, I don't like this. I haven't opened it yet. Because I'm I don't want to be a collector, but it's so nice and pristine in its little box.
I'm just who actually opens their amiibos? I mean,
to use them, you have to.
Yeah, but
for some reason, they won't design the box thin enough that you can just set it on top.
I saw there was a YouTube hack where how you can
press the box and just
It basically involves cutting a hole at the bottom, like a small one. And
that feels worse than just opening the box. But yeah, so I've been having fun with the series. I definitely don't think I would have been able to have played it way back on the Game Boy.
Oh, definitely not. That thing, I always tell people, because I remember Mom used to work at a hospital and they had an original Game Boy, the 6-battery one. Mm-hmm. 6 batteries, Jesus. And the green scale is what I'm going to call it. Because it wasn't.
I think black and white.
Yeah, I feel like black and white.
Green and black.
I feel like the black and white would have been better to the green scale. Because I call it that because I had a slider to let you adjust how greenish it was. It just wasn't a good way to play games.
Let's see. But yeah, definitely lots of improvements. Various equipped items now are just part of your gear. You don't have to equip the Pegasus boots or the power gauntlet.
He just picks things up and
you
jumps.
just are them, yeah, and it's so much nicer. Like the various editions they did when they redid Ocarina of Time, right? It's the iron boots are now an item you can equip versus gear you have to
put on and
shimmy through. Yeah. Let's see, if I'm being critical of it, do I think this is $60 worth of a game? No. Do I feel like I was misled by the premise that this was once a Game Boy game and therefore could only have so much plot? Also, no. I knew what I was buying. I was like, okay, I've bought this and I've experienced this.
Have you tried the new Create a Dungeon feature yet?
I kind of did. Obviously, this is their attempt at kind of bringing the Mario Maker series into Zelda. I just did the very first one where he kind of has okay, you need to get from the entrance to the dungeon to the nightmare boss, right? Because this is all a dream. It's not a boss. It's a nightmare. And so I don't know. I might tinker around with that more. It's kind of an interesting concept. I'm not a huge fan of Mario Makers myself. Period. I don't know. I don't download things online to torture myself to see what madness people have done. But maybe I'll do that more as sort of post-game content. Right now I'm really trying to just get through the game. Actually, one of the side quests I really love, it's really stupid. There's the chain grab game, the claw grab game. It's really stupid and I love it. Yes, you can actually drop things from the claw, and then you have to pay more money and go back and try and get the thing you dropped, which is now an awkward position.
Oh.
Because some things are just like rupees are really small and can slip through the thing, and other things like the piranha plant statue are too big and never quite fit. Period. So it grabs and it just kind of like.
So have you taken everything from the claw machine yet?
No, more things will spawn as the further you get through the levels.
Oh, okay.
Right, I'm currently on 7 of 8. So again, playing casually, I've gotten 7/8 of the way through the game, which is why I'm like it's pretty light on content unless they're about to reveal to me somehow there's a whole extra anti-Hyrule that I have to get through that's bonus content. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm on Tall Tower or Eagle's Tower, which from what I've heard from complaints on Twitter, people were like, oh, I have to relive this. Like it was like the water dungeon of its age.
It was just very hard or something?
Apparently. I'm not finding it terribly difficult. A lot of the times, anytime I'm stuck, Now, I don't know if I can blame the game for not directing me well enough. So like to get to Tall Tower, it's like, yeah, now clearly you have to get you need item C, which you got from item D, which you need to use in conjunction with item F that we never used before. I'm like, again, like, did I just miss the hints, or did I just not think to do this?
It was just convoluted.
Just a little convoluted. Same thing too, like, it's like, oh, obviously, it's right here. I'm like, where? In the bombable wall. I'm like, oh, there are cracks there. It's just like, getting my mind into it again.
I really hate when like a game breaks me and I look something up, because there's one or two things gonna happen. It's gonna be like, I'm so happy I looked this up. There's no way in hell. Or two, it's just like, damn, maybe if I just would have like gave it 5 more minutes.
Right. Go have supper, come back, look at it with fresh eyes. You're like, oh, right, I could just hop over this pit. I didn't need to try and fly. It's just something stupid like that.
Something real simple.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I've had to let me think if there's anything else about the game. Any questions you have, Odell?
No, like, I'm pretty much gonna get it. I'm gonna experience it for the first time. That it's gonna fill one of my Zelda holes. I haven't played Link's Awakening, which I'm gonna finish it. I haven't played Minish Cap, which everyone boos me for.
Boo!
Yeah,
that's a fun game.
Yeah, I know.
And that mechanic isn't like replayed anywhere else either.
Yeah, I need to play Minish Cap. Zelda 2, which honestly may forever remain unplayed for me.
Yeah, I couldn't make it all the way through Zelda 1, and I just have no desire to play Zelda 2.
And so now, because of various means, but now because of the Switch, I do have access to Zelda 1. I've had access to it before, but I really have no desire to play through it.
You have to just be a sort of like masochist to want to play the original versions of these games. Cause
like the original Mario, the original Zelda's like, I need a guide. I 100% need a guide.
No direction, you instantly die. It's almost like Dark Souls in a weird way.
So yeah, Zelda, the original Zelda and Zelda 2 are probably gonna remain unplayed. Gonna fix Link's Awakening, and the Minish Cap I will get to at some point. I have an SP.
Okay, I was gonna say, do you have access to it?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I can find either someone I'm pretty sure I know has the game. If not, I'll just go to the various retro shops or something.
It's definitely somewhere in my parents' closet. But speaking of access to things, you can find us again, the podcast, at FC Podcast 23. You can find me, Jared Fradette, at Toonvelo.
You can find me, Odo Harmon, at Odo Harmon Jr. on all our favorite social medias. Have a Greek woke.
Have a Greek woke.
Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next time.